This is based on sort of a real-life story when, was it wolves were moved from Canada to Idaho? Was it the other way around? No, it was the other way around, wasn't it?
I think it was that way. I'm not positive, actually. That's the first time anyone's mentioned that to me recently. Okay. I should be well informed. Yeah, so but they relocate them so that they can repopulate that kind of park.
And your role is of Kate. It's just sort of she's feisty and strong and a fighter. And so how does she fit with this other wolf?
Well, in packs, there's alphas and there's the omegas, and the alphas are obviously, you know, it's kind of self-explanatory, and they're the hunters, and the omegas are kind of the goofy, lively, fun, you know, make light of a situation so it doesn't turn bad. And they both have very important roles within the pack, but there are these two packs on separate sides of the valley, and there's not enough food for both of them, so they have to unite the packs. And as they're going to unite the packs, they get this one omega wolf and my character Kate get relocated to this park, and they have to find their way back home, and it's quite an adventure, of course.
Given your stunning career so far, and you are still only 21, I would imagine you're pretty much an alpha, aren't you?
What? Why would you say that? No, I definitely am. I'm a little bit on the feisty side.
And wildlife is very important to you as well, because you spend a lot of time when you're not acting, helping or trying to raise awareness for dolphins, whales, that sort of thing. And you've been swimming with sharks.
Yeah,
Tell
absolutely.
us a little bit more about that.
It's something that I've always been passionate about. Animals have always been my thing, and I do think that it's kind of a responsibility you have when you have a voice that to contribute and to give back, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to work with such wonderful organizations such as the Whale Men Foundation and bring awareness to that. But you know, there's a lot of things going on in our environment, and wolves are definitely one of those big things, so it's nice to play one.
Do you get time to be in the environment, be in the wild much, seeing as how you're so, because you've been in the business for virtually since you were a baby?
Yeah. I have. I was actually raised right outside the city in New York on the Hudson River, in the middle of the woods. So I have gotten to spend quite a bit of time there, and we always went to hunter and skiing, and I enjoyed a hike and stuff like that. So I do spend as much time as I can.
Yeah. When did you start then? When we were saying you've been acting since you were almost a baby.
Well, I did my first commercial at 11 months old, which is ridiculous to say, you know, at 21 that I've been doing it for 20 years, but because you don't know where to start counting
was it? No, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been very, very, very fortunate. I started very, very young, but I did have a really amazing childhood and kind of got the best of both worlds. So.
And your biggest role to date was as the cheerleader in Heroes, which really brought you to the world stage. But you must have been really quite young when that started. How old were you when that was?
I was 16. I was 16 when the pilot went. Yeah. Oh.
And it's
wow.
there you are. It can be a sensitive transition for people who are in the business as children, moving through to adulthood. But you've managed that very smoothly. How have you managed to stay so grounded?
Well, I appreciate it. It's always about who you're with. It's about, you know, the way you're raised, the way I was raised. You know, even when the show came on and it happened, it wasn't like I was allowed to go run amok and do whatever I wanted. I had good parents who were strict enough, and I think it was also really fortunate that I got to be on a show that was successful with other people. So we all kind of went there together. It wasn't just by myself. I wasn't, you know, it wasn't a movie role that put you up there and then all of a sudden you're dealing with cameras and this and that and criticism. I had a lot of, you know, big brothers and sisters to and you know,
it's
father
nice big
figures
ensemble
to,
cast,
yeah.
One of the big roles that you're being put up for, at least suggested for, I don't know, you can tell us more about it, is Amanda Knox, who was
I'm doing it,
You're doing it,
yes.
definitely. The American student, we should just remind viewers, who was found guilty of murdering her flatmate, her British flatmate.
Yeah.
That's going ahead when? Because it's quite controversial, isn't it?
It is. It's a very controversial topic, and it's very two-sided. I mean, if you look at the facts and stuff, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. But it's the story, her story, up until she was convicted of 26 years. And it's very in between. It's pretty fact-driven. So it's hopefully when people see it, they're gonna not think it's quite as controversial as they think.
But it's a real challenge to play the person who's at the centre of such a great controversy and to decide which way to do it.
Yeah, the thing is, when you don't know how to play it, that's the most complicated thing. When you don't know, because I can't go in there with the idea that I'm innocent or I'm guilty. You can't kind of lean either way. If you have to lean any way in the script, it would be more to the innocent side of playing it. But yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but I'm really excited about it, and we'll be in Rome for about 5 weeks.
So you still shoot it. When do we see it? When's it will be out? What, next year?
That's a good question. I assume sometime next year.
Yeah, it's on an American channel, isn't it? Okay. Thank you very much for coming in, Hayden.
Thanks
for having me. Thank you.